Not too concerned. We're just making this team for a laugh. Color. White, why not? Ah, fuck me. Did I just do that? Ugh. Never do that. That's yeah, okay, great. This is a good thing to show. Don't ever auto-create based on what they recommend, because it is silly and stupid. They give you an assassin. This guy is not competitive. He's fun, but he's not competitive. They give you a witch elf, and let's see, like, what do they got? 11 players, 1 reroll. 1 reroll is too low in my opinion. And you have 2 runners. You don't need 2 runners. There's a lot of, you can see armor value 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. That's a lot of armor value 7 for the starting team that has no money left and very easily going to lose players, very expensive players. And you only got 3 blitzers. Not a good team. That's horrible. Never, ever, ever. So, can we get the money back? Let's see if we. Yes, we can. All right. All right. Let's get rid of the crap. Now this is a good team. You have a single armor 7 player. You have a lot more blocks, so you're a lot more fighty, and you can take hits. They're also faster because the movement value is 7. And you don't have stupid assassins, which only work against certain teams, particularly low armor teams. So if I go up against Chaos or maybe Orcs, particularly Orcs, Assassin is dead weight. He's going to fucking die, and he's not going to do very much damage. Great against Wood Elves, great against Goblins, but not good in a competitive take-all-comers kind of thing. And I'm going to shut these guys up, as much as I enjoy them, because I want to talk. This is all just for fluff. I always like the Guild of Bandits and affiliated trades. Very legit. Cheerleaders, human.
Is this microphone on?
Actually, when you do matches, you can see in history, but I'm going to shut these guys up. They're actually quite funny, and if you're playing single player, especially early on, they're great because they just funny, and they say very funny in-character things for the setting, which is a hilarious setting. Let's just register the massive league. Most likely that will get us a game. Hopefully somewhat close to our team value, which is that number there. Yeah, we're searching. Great. So yeah, so I'm going to... This is mainly to test OBS because I've never used it before. I'm just recording and then uploading. I don't have... Because I don't have the NBN in Australia, I have just terrible upload speed. So I'm not going to be able to stream until presumably end of the month we're getting it, but who knows when. I literally live in a black hole where it's like 1 street north, 2 streets south, then you get to good internet, but I'm in the middle of the black hole where I've got crap. So I'm going to play. As I play, I'm going to explain things. Oh, waiting here, we can explain things here. These are a bunch of kind of extras. They're not the core of your team. This is your core of team of your players. You're going to have up to 16. That's the max amount. Generally, you don't want to have 16 unless you're a particular type, because most times you don't need that many spare players because you don't have 11 on on the field at the same time. So it's good maybe to have a spare or 2 because somebody might get knocked out, permanently hurt, or just badly hurt, which means they're out of the game but they'll be fine. You want to have some spares, otherwise there's going to be gaps in your lines are going to open up. But you don't want to have 16 unless like your halflings and you're going to lose great swaths of your players. So this is a good team because it has good skills, good movement. 6-7 is great. Above average sometimes. 5 and 6 is kind of your average. Strength 3 is just stuck standard. Like most teams have strength 3 units. Agility 4, which is good. This is above average. This is almost exclusively elves and things like gutter runners and particularly lithe individuals. Armor 8 is again very average. 7 is low. It's a little bit worrisome. You want to make sure this guy doesn't get hit too often. 9 is great. 10 is really good, but you know, if you get a 10 or an 11 through an upgrade, it's an expensive upgrade for what it gives you. Whereas going from like 7 to 8, because it's a 2d6 system, you're going to generally get 7s and 8s and 6s. So if you can push your armor from 7 to 8, that's a big reduction in the chance you're going to hit. But if you push it from 10 to 11, it's more marginal. You know, the chance of getting 11 is pretty low instead of a 10. So there's more gain to be made in the middle ground, basically. So that's the main players. You can see their value here. That is what causes this team value here. So all that added together up with the value of these things results in that team value. And that's used for a couple things. First, it's used in such as this official Cablevision League, how to decide who you play against. It tries to match you with similar people. So you can see it is currently searching, and it's randomly selected, but it tries to pick someone that's relatively close to you. Now, if they're above you, you'll get free cash, basically. I don't have any cash because I've maxed out the team in the most kind of efficient manner, kind of min-maxing the team as best you can with the amount of money you start with. But it'll give you extra cash, and if you've got enough, you might get 10 or 20,000. It's not enough to buy anything, and you have to spend extra of your own cash to try and get something. The baseline is like you need at least 50,000. But if I get 50k, I can buy, Bloodwiser Babes, and they make it easier for my guys to get back on the field if they get knocked out. Or if I got tons of money, I could get a star player who's just, special abilities or really, really strong. Some of them are more worthwhile than others. Some of them are just dead weight and you pay a lot for little. But others are quite good. And there's other things I won't get into. But these are additional bonuses. You can read what they do. So you're more likely to win Brilliant Coaching on the kickoff event. So if you get Brilliant Coaching, and then it's both sides kind of roll some dice, you will have bonuses to that roll, but it still relies on you getting that Brilliant Coaching effect whenever someone kicks the ball for a new drive or a new half. Fan Factor is something that helps again in kickoff table results, and you can, if you've got spare money, you can. Sometimes people say it's good to boost the start. I prefer to just win and just have it boosted by winning. But this, even if you haven't bought it, if it goes up after every game because you're just doing really well, it does add to your team value. Apothecary, really good. As soon as I get 50k, oh god, Chaos Dwarf. This is not as bad because I don't have dodge yet, but pretty bad. Let's have a look at them. First things first, they're 1240. It would be great if it was 1250, but they are way bigger than I am. I'm a baby team, and he's been... Let's have a look at his history. He's played 4 matches. He's not very good, apparently. Who's been playing against? Wow, it's Wood Elves, almost certainly. 5. Only kind of Wood Elves and Skaven can get that because they have enough movement speed and agility to do that. And a bunch of other things. So they don't look amazing. They like to hit people, and that's about it. This tackle would be great against dodge. I don't have any dodge, that's kind of wasted, but he's fairly bashy. What am I going to do? These are star players, and they're nice and all, but I probably won't bother. I will probably get a wizard, because wizards are great. It means I can cast a 9 square fireball and have a half chance to take someone out. So if you've got 4 or 5 people in a 9 square area, it's great. Or you can single hit someone instead of a half 50-50 chance of hitting him, it's a 2+ on a d6, so it's a 83% chance of hitting. And I would love to be able to get an extra team reroll, but I don't have enough because it's cost 100k. I've only got 90, so I will probably just get Bloodwiser Babe, and we'll see how we go. So this is not a great start in terms of matchup, but I'm an elf player, and there's something in kind of the Blood Bowl community that's known as elf BS or elf bullshit. It's the fact that even if I have 2 or 3 players in the field, if this guy bashes me and destroys me, there's still a chance I could just run a guy down to the back end, pick it up one end, run it to the middle, hand it off to someone, he runs further up, throws it over the heads of an enemy, and I can score. Which a lot of other orcs probably wouldn't be able to do. They just slowly grind up the field. So this is Chaos Dwarves. They have like, I want to be on offense, because I want to bash them. So he's setting up his dudes, and I'll set up my dudes. The way they work is they've got these Chaos Dwarf blockers, who are kind of just slow movement for bad agility. They're just to take hits and dish out damage, so I want to just avoid them. Playing Dark Elves is all about using your ability to move and dodge away to attack people's weak spots and stay away from their strength. So I want to basically dodge away from these guys all the time, whenever I can. It's only times I would stay with them is if I'm like, I need to do something else first, and if I fall down, well, I'm just stuck standing next to them, because as soon as you fail an action, your turn is over. That's why you have rerolls. This guy's got way too many rerolls. That is why his TV is inflated. He's got good fame. He's got a 2+, which is expected because he's have way more fan factor than I do. And you can see down here, I've rolled a 3. He's rolled double 6s +2 for his fan factor, so he's got way more fans, so he gets a +2 bonus to a lot of rolls and stuff. And also his winnings at the end. But yeah, this is way too many rerolls. I would say 3, okay, but probably 2, because he has skills. Like, he has a guy who can got sure hands, so he doesn't have to re-roll when this guy picks up. It's got an automatic free re-roll. This guy's got block. He doesn't have block, so, but then again, he also has a skill called Loner, which means if he uses a re-roll, he has to roll to see if it even works, and if it doesn't work, it's still wasted. He's only got 1 Spool Centaur, which I don't know if I agree with. This is like a secondary scoring piece / basher. He doesn't have great agility, but he's quick because he can sprint and go further. So you kind of want to, in a pinch, he's useful. But the main kind of ball movers are hobgoblins, these guys. They don't have any defensive abilities, and they're armor 7, so they're the weak points. I'm going to just kick the shit out of them until they're dead. That's basically my plan. All this is just like, I don't want to fight this. This is terrible. I'm going to stay away from that as much as I can. So I'm going to leave, some dudes here who are just going to dodge at the end of my turn, but otherwise I'm just avoiding them. And I just want to just repeatedly bash these guys until they're dead. So, my pretties. I also don't want to stand my guys that I'm going to move and bash here with on this line, because he could get a kickoff result, perfect defense, and then he can maneuver his guys to stop me. And I'd have to dodge away. If he does get it and he stands there in the way, that's fine. I'll just go somewhere else. But at least I wouldn't have to dodge away, because every time you roll the dice, you're taking a risk. So I'm going to go there. Alright, let's do this properly. Now, I don't want to have anyone standing next to this guy, because he has a thing called Wild Animal, where if he makes a block or a blitz, which a block is just hitting someone next to you, blitz is running and then hitting them, which you can only do once per turn, then he gets to act on a 2+, otherwise he acts on a 4+. So I want him to sit there and do nothing and be useless. That is ideal. So I have to have 3 guys here, so they're going to just stand there and potentially get beaten. These guys will go hunt him, these guys will go hunt him, and that's pretty much it. This guy's going to hold on to the ball. I'll try, there's a problem that I'm going to end up slow playing a little bit because I'm explaining things. Normally I play quite quick. He gets another reroll, which is not that useful to him, because he's unless he does really crazy stuff, he's probably not going to use it that many up. First things first, go stand someone next to the ball. Moving people doesn't do anything. It doesn't, there's no rolls involved unless you start going too far, which is this, going for it, or you start dodging. So that's safe. You always try and do movement that's safe first, then you do the crazy things. So, for instance here, I might want to go stand my dude here, and then come bash in here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm also going to move this guy over here, just in case something goes wrong and I get a turnover. I've blocked this, so he can't run around and bash me. So move your blitz over here. Perfect. I'm going to push him over there. Ooh, armor break. He's already knocked out. Brilliant. That's what we want to see. If I tried that against one of these guys, I would have needed a 10 on the dice. So I would have failed there. And so that's why you go after the weak parts. And then I will actually just keep accelerating through. I want to make him worried that I'm just going to go for the quick play so that he doesn't pressure here too much. I can also potentially stand, I think I will. No, I won't. If I stand a guy here, he can rush in, push me there, and then this guy can bash me out, and then it becomes automatically at least than the reserves, and he also gets a free armor roll against me, which is not good. I don't want that. Free injury roll, I believe, not armor roll. So it's good to push people that high value armor off the deck. Other than that, I'm pretty happy where I'm sitting. I could try and do a dodge through here, but it's risky and not particularly a great idea. Because these guys might fail if they try and fall back, I'm going to put some safety here. Alright, next I'm going to pick up the ball. I don't care if these guys get hit. They're linemen. That's the whole point. Do I want to do anything? No. So the ball's safe. I don't really need to re-roll it. I've only got 2. And this is what Blood Bowl's all about. It's not wasting your re-rolls, playing smart. They want to bash linemen. Okay, it's not great, but that's what linemen there are for. They're there to get bashed. So that the blitzers and the runners don't. Yep, so he's using his blitz, potentially, to go after him. Oh, he's not. Which means he acts on 2+. That means he has to blitz with that guy. It means he can't blitz with someone else if he uses that guy to blitz. You know, for instance, he might be worthwhile blitzing this way because he's got Frenzy, which means he gets to make an attack and then another attack. So he could push and then get another roll and push me off. He doesn't seem to have noticed that, or he's more worried about the scoring threat. But if he doesn't do that, if he just sands someone next to me, my turn, I'm just going to dodge and move up there. And that'll be supporting piece for him. So he's trying to figure out the bash order he wants to do. He should probably bash that way. Because if it just is a push, then that guy can push him back and you can just kind of ping pong him until you run out of blocks. And the chances are if he is... Here we go. So that's knockdown, totally fine. If I was him, I'd follow up. Nope, that's bad. Okay, so what he should be doing, because he's a bashy player, he should just be pressuring, like, hit me, follow up, hit me, follow up. Just be constantly harassing me. Yeah, so I don't agree with that either. It's best to attack with assistance. So you can see how that guy, that guy attacked that guy, and there was still a guy that was cancelling that guy's assist. Meant you need a 1 die. But if you outnumber the enemy and you have assistance from other people, you get extra dice potentially, depending how much you outnumber them, like 2 or 3 dice. So he's going to do this. Yep, he's going to be able to knock me down if he knows. Yep, which is perfectly fine. He does not pass the roll. That's fine. I can just get up and run away and go stand there. Yeah, everything's fine. So you can see on my turn, I knocked out one of his pieces. On his turn, he is kind of stunned one of my guys for a turn. But otherwise, the ball is still fine. I've got a guy in a potential scoring position. Everything's fine. And he's just run a hobgoblin next to me, which is... wow, this guy's misclicked terribly. I guess that's why you have your 5... Wait! Whoa! Dear God. Okay. So yeah, this guy I don't think is very good. That was a bit of a misclick there. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Considering he has 5 rerolls, I probably would have wasted one on a 5+. It's not a great roll, and I wouldn't normally reroll a 5+. But he's got so many, you may as well use it, but he hasn't. So it's a bit odd. But it is wonderful from my perspective, because I can go, you know, bash this guy and then continuously bash and things like that. So we're going to place him over here, I think. So you see I've got an assistant, so I've got 2 dice. So I can push this guy with a knockdown. He doesn't have dodge as an ability. And we're going to bash on the 7 pieces. And he is not happy. I could potentially, if I wanted, use this guy to foul and stomp in his face. But if I roll doubles on the armor or the injury result, I get expelled for the rest of the match. So it's not really that worth it. My alignment are pretty good. So I generally don't foul unless I've got a good reason to. And I don't need backup players. What else do we want to do? That's fine. We're eventually going to go try and blitz that guy in a second, but for now we'll probably pick up the ball and maneuver it over there. So let's just play safe. So what I'm doing is I'm making it difficult to run through here so that I can pick up the ball and bring it into here, and then that guy can kind of help go up here. There's nothing else I really want to do, no dodges, so do this. Alright, at this point I kind of do want to move the ball and get it moving up, and I do want to try and get this blitz off. It's not ideal, like, and in an ideal world, if this guy wasn't so bad and down by 2 players, I probably wouldn't do that, but I want to keep the pressure on him. In the meantime, you can go here, I think. No. If this guy comes back, I want him to Frenzy Trap. Frenzy go, yeah. So what a Frenzy Trap is if you try and bash someone... I don't have enough people to Frenzy Trap. He'll still be a 5. There's no point. Let's go up there. That's a little dangerous because he could come back. That's fine. He's not that competent. If someone's a Frenzy Trap, they have to follow up when they bash you. And so if they just push you and then you have a bunch of friends around here... then suddenly the 5-to-3 strength ratio might go to 5 to versus 6. Alright, let's get to this. Sorry, I'm talking too much. This is really annoying for the other person, probably. Alright. That's totally fine. So what I was doing there was I was going to man that guy up so that he couldn't push me as easily. But we're pretty safe. He can't do anything to the guy lying down unless he fouls, and if he fouls with his Minotaur, he's insane. And I kind of encourage him to do so if he wants to waste the Minotaur. So, this is a good example of what not to do. The very first thing he did is he tried to block me. If he got double skulls there, he would have lost his turn. He would have at least forced to do a reroll. And like, there's plenty of times I've had double skulls rerolled into double skulls. What you want to do first is move. Move generally is safe. So why not do the safe things first? This is a game about mitigating risk. So you should have done all this movement, like that guy there or whatever else you wanted to put around. Maybe manning up those things or over there. Then done whatever crazy thing that he's doing it the wrong way. He should come from there to push there. Then he could push me, and push me out. There is a risk that he'd end up standing next to it. But yeah, he could have pushed me there, and then the follow-up could have then pushed me out completely, and I would have been out of the game regardless of what this injury result is. Okay, that's fine. It's a knockout. That's why I have the Blood Wiser Babe. Yeah, if I was him, yeah, going for it's not a bad idea. You got enough rerolls. It's a loner, which is a little bit risky, but you've made so many mistakes. You want to try and capitalize on the one good option you have. Because at the moment, I'm an elf. I don't have to go through that. I can switch and throw it over here and then run it up. And then in the meantime, just keep bashing the hobgoblins to death and avoiding them whenever possible. So I can go stand him over here and get some defense, and yeah, so if I was him, I might even just leave him standing on the ground. Because now I get to bash him again, and I will do that. I'm also going to bring this guy in and to make it hard for them to pull their guys back. So first things first, you can go stand over there. I'm going to move away from this area of strength. There is good. I'm going to do most of a cage. A cage is like a dice 5, effectively. And you can stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could potentially do that. So let's just stand over there. So he has to go further around. If he tries to 1, 2, yeah, he won't be able to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so he won't be able to easily make it to me. Now we go hit this guy in the face. And after that, we dodge his guys away. So we've mitigated, we've moved the ball, we've got the ball safe relatively, and we're going to go bash someone who's weak, and after that, we'll move these guys away. And again, we are rewarded by bashing up hobgoblins. Dirty little gits that they are. I want to be on the north side of that. I want to force him to try and dodge down here, so that where he's not up here, that means this guy will be safe, and it's going to be hard for him to get to if I need to quickly throw the ball up. Now, I usually dodge people who are standing first, because that way they can't bash someone who's laying down, so why not get the guy the way he's in danger first. This guy I'll wait to last, because he has to make a more dangerous dodge. Alright, that's good. I'll do that, just to make it hard. Yeah. Hard for them to maneuver around, so they can't get around here very easily. And this guy is... he is just gonna go... over here. Totally fine. Don't need to worry about that. See, I've got the ball safe. I'm beating up hobgoblins. Everything is right with the world. And there's plenty more turns. So that's insane. You should not do that, because that dodge is, you need a 6+. And he's realized that and he's stopped. Again, not a smart idea. You've got a blocked guy here with a block skill. This guy does not have block. He's got strength 4, which means you get 2 dice without needing any assists. But you could just stand him there and have that guy block, and you get the same 2 dice, but you get a block. So much smarter. So they're moving to here. They're not likely to get over here except with this guy, and if he wants to go stand over there, I will be very happy to start pushing him into the edge of the field. Yep, much smarter play. And if I was him, I'd put that guy over there, because that makes it harder for me to dodge away, because I could now just dodge that way. That's a dumb thing to do. Now it needs a 50-50. Because he's not attacking anyone. He wants to bash face. I rolled a 4, which is fine. But by not having standing anyone next to him, means he has to either blitz with him, which he can't because this guy already did, or, you know, take a 50-50. And so at this point, I'm probably going to just maneuver up here, maybe do a side cage, maybe even throw the ball to him and have him run up. We'll see. I might, if this guy stands up but doesn't dodge, I might bash first and then do that, and then run him up. It's actually not a bad idea to leave someone here to kind of block a bit. But I can now like run through and bash this guy. And I've got a blitzer there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. Great, more goblins going down. Waste your rerolls. Use them, use them, use them. You should use them by now. That is a terrible choice. You only can use 1 per turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to use every single reroll in the next few turns for you to use them all up. Unlikely. You're probably going to at least 1 turn where everything's going to go fine. Alright, so I don't have to bash that hobgoblin anymore, because I've got other bashing opportunities. Okay. 6. Okay, I'm gonna have to roll like a going for it to get either of these schmucks. So, let's do the safe thing first. So I can go get to there or there. I can probably get up to there. Get to there. Alright, so that guy goes there. That guy goes there. This is called a side cage. You can't get in there unless you dodge in. So you can't get a block on easily. Lineman can go stand there. Actually, because it's so far for these guys to run, I'm actually tempted to man this guy up. He doesn't have any block, so while he's got good strength, he doesn't have any skills to block well. So he's taking a risk if he blocks me. And then I'm just gonna, if he bashes him down, he can go, if I stand there, he can't, he has to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want to stand there. That means even if he bashes this guy's down, this guy's still gonna have to go around me, and it's gonna make it going for it rolls to try and bash here. Same with these guys, they're too slow. They're great at blocking, but they're really slow. This guy can go stand next to him. Same thing, I'm going to just get in the way, basically, and just close off their avenues to run anywhere. And I'm going to go, what's this, 2+. I could dodge first, but I kind of want to kill hobgoblins. Alright, I don't get hit hobgoblins, that's fine. See, he's bashed, that's fine. Now, he can't get through here. He didn't follow up, so there's no avenue to go through. But my guy's totally safe now, because he can't run around, can't run through. I mean, you can, you'd have to roll a bunch of 6s. The best you can do is bash the guys here or here, and try and go stand next to these guys, but even if you stand there, I can just keep running up the field. So despite him having 250 or 240 more team value than us, we're trouncing him because we're playing smart. And now he's in a terrible position because he's blitzed with this guy because he wants to move him, but he doesn't have block on him. So it's now turnover. I'm totally safe. This is a great position. I'm just going to move him up there. Keeping my guys up here, so even if someone bashes me, they can only follow up. Chances are they're not going to be able to stand next to there. And it keeps them separate. Alright, what am I going to do? First things first. What do we want to do? It's very tempting to bash that guy and foul him, I must say. But it's a stupid thing to do. So let's just go. This guy can just come back here. If something went horribly wrong, it's not a bad idea to have someone back here as a safety. But it should not be required. At this point, I'm just moving pieces, keeping them away from this horrible mess. I'm probably going to blitz here. I'm not going to follow up because I want to come back up here. These guys are just going to envelop me if he's reasonably smart, so I'm going to pull back here, move away from the area of strength. You know, it's always good to hit a hobgoblin, but because I'm pulling back in force, if I leave two guys here, they're just going to get swamped and just beaten to a pulp, and it's going to be harder to wind down the clock. Now I want to dodge away, so I will dodge. So he blitzes through there. Follows up. It's not enough to frenzy trap him, so let's just go. If he does follow there. Oh yeah, I'm going to sit this guy here, so if he does bash, he's standing there, and I can potentially push, and then push him off the field. And I've still got a wizard, so hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll end on the 8th turn, or my turn. He'll have one turn. He won't be able to score because it's too difficult. And then when it's the new second half, I'll have a wizard to try and blast his cage, because he's going to be pretty hard to break because he's got lots of block. And then that'll hopefully let the ball free and I can grab it and run and get a 2-0 win, which is kind of classic Dark Elves, like a 2-1 or a 2-0 or a 1-0. Because they're fairly good at defense. Burning Phoenix BP's telling me to make sure Discord voice chat works so we can record trash talk. That's good. Let's see if I can get someone. What's this guy doing? I'm not even really watching. He bashed a lineman. Meh. A loner. He rerolled him getting up. Okay, well, you know. Not a great use of a reroll, but sure. I guess he's done everything. He's already done his, I presume he already did the bash, in which case, why not? So, he's left this here where I can do a bash. I will do a bash, because why not? Is there any benefit to how to do this? Yes, I'll do it that way. If I knock this guy, I can follow up, and I will stay. If I follow it up here, you know, and then I can bash him down, I could maybe get another 2-die on him, but it's a bit risky, so I'm just going to play it safe. Where's the Hobgoblin? Ooh, Hobgoblin, come here. I want to be friends. So, this is, a 2-die with a block is fairly safe. It's usually better to do than these one dodges. Oh yes, another injury. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Just stopped. Very sad. So he's down for a turn, so I won't be able to do anything to him. Other than that, let's just secure this ball. I could come over here, but I'm pretty happy where I'm at. He's going to stand here. Normally I would, because I'm not going to use this team anymore, you would put a lineman here, and last turn I might walk him in, or if I've got a reroll, I might do a handoff and start feeding the lineman points, because they are slower to level up than this guy who's going to regularly have the ball, and I'm probably forced to walk in, and these guys who are going to bash and they're faster, so they're more likely to get the ball. So that's all good. So you can stand there. And you can just stand there. No. And this guy can go over there. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's basically Dark Elves. So yeah, I'm still down a player here, but he's down 3 players, so I'm, you know, he's down 2 to my, you know, he's down 2 compared to me, relative to me. Now, something you can do is you can just repeatedly, like, foul my guys just to put pain on me, to force me to score early and give him more of a chance in the second, like in this half, to maybe have a chance to run it down. But because he doesn't have kind of cheap guys, he doesn't have spare hobgoblins to do it, it's not advisable. But yeah, you absolutely want to keep pressuring and bashing me until the last possible moment to try and make me think, oh, I better score, otherwise I'm gonna lose guys. But I don't give a shit. I've played too much Blood Bowl, so it's not like I'm riding home to the mothers or anything like that. So yeah, how this is set up, because there's a guard piece here, even if I have someone next to him...
Someone asked for someone to help test something. Alright. Should I go kapoof now, or stay quiet? Alright. Well, have fun. And good luck.
Cheers. So yeah, we're just checking. Do I really want to do anything? I'm fine. So I'm just going to do what's called an elf screen. I'm basically just putting guys in the way. They can walk up to me, but that's about it. And then you go there. I'll explain it a bit. You can go stand over here, away from these guys. No point risking a good blitzer if I don't have to. And now we will dodge away. Perfecto. Alright, so what an elf screen is when you have, this is not a proper elf screen, but it's a screen of some kind, is you dodge so the guys are just one away from them. So all they can do is like either step up to you or blitz in and maybe take out one dude. But they can't get any further, and then you just pull your line back. They walk up to you, you dodge 1 point away, and then they get 1 space a turn, maybe 2 spaces. They did a good blitz. It's really effective. So this is what I meant about a frenzy trap. Fortunately, he got 2 pals. So there's nothing you can do about that. If they're all 6s, they're all 6s. But, yeah, that's fine. If he rolled a push, he would have pushed there. He would have been a strength 3, please, plus 2 adjacency bonus, kind of like assists. Would have been 3, 4, 5. My strength would have been 5 effectively. His strength is 5. It would have gone from a 2 dice into a 1 dice. And so it'd been more likely to fail. And that's what you call a frenzy trap. So, you know, he knocked out my dude. You know, he rolled 6s. That's fine. It happens all the time, Blood Bowl. But I did the right thing because I set up a situation where if he went to try and get pressure of the ball carrier, it was risky for his dude. And now I can still walk it in. I don't have to do any rolls to walk it in. I just walk it in and I've got a sure thing. Now he's thinking of fouling, which does tend to happen when you're losing. People get annoyed, but also, you know, you want to pressure the other person to just score. At this point, I'm going to score anyway because it's turn 8, so it's kind of risky, because if this guy gets thrown out, that's brutal for him. He failed, so it doesn't matter. Because these guys are quite skillful. You can either block, they have, you know, did that guy? Okay, it's just a standard dude. That's a better choice than the guard piece, but they're good guys. They've got good block, good armor. Tackle isn't really useful because they don't dodge, but that's about it. Is there any bash I can do on a hobgoblin? Nah. Yes, there is. I can do bash. So I've still got finally a reroll left for this half. Why not? You know, I'd have to roll double skulls. It's unlikely. It is risky, but absolutely worthwhile trying to bash the hobgoblins. Again, another injury. This is probably a little bit more than you would expect on average. But then again, I'm also mostly stunning with the occasional knockout. Now we're walking the ball. I'm recording at 720 because I probably do not have the upload speed to do, you know, proper, you know, 4K or whatever it is I've got on the actual screen. Because it is my internet will handle that. So he gets rolls well. On average, he should have only had one of those guys come back because it's a 4+. I, however, got my guys back. Wow, so I needed a 3+ rather than his 4+ because I had the Babe, Bloodwiser Babe. So that actually helped me, that 50k bonus. This one was fine because he rolled a 6, and both his guys rolled 6s. So, you know, good on her. I've only got 1 turn left. I don't get a turn because I've already had my last turn, so there's no point standing on that line ready to get beaten. This is what you do. You run all you guys back here, and you avoid getting hit. And you offer up some linemen to be beaten because you have to have 3 in this line of scrimmage. So these poor chaps get to take the hits while we all sit here and, like, you know, praise Kane and...
Hey, is this thing working? Do you have Apex Legends? Because if so, you should come join us. Hell yeah. It's me and Ballistic. If you are on, just blip me, and we'll come and join you in a chat in this room. All right, have fun with that.
Yeah. The Apex Legends, interesting game. It's like Titanfall, but Battle Royale, and very clearly has taken some notes from Overwatch and kind of the stylistic choices and how they've set it up. So yep, I don't know what he's setting up. This is a weird setup. If he's thinking of doing something with the ball, he has to do something called a one-turn touchdown setup, where he has to kind of like run a guy in, bash him that way, and then do these chain pushes to push the ball carrier, who's going to actually have the ball out to like, several spaces, so that he can run the rest of the distance. He still needs to make 2 dodges. This is me kicking the ball. I choose where I want to put it. I choose the middle of the field because it's the most likely that it doesn't fall out of the pitch. He gets to put one of his guys under the ball because I've kicked it really, really high. He's got plenty of time to run underneath the ball and catch it. Good roll. But it's pretty hard to do that. He does have a centaur who's actually quite good at doing long runs, but he probably doesn't know how to do it. And even I don't know how well to do it. But Skaven do it very well. Wood Elves do the one-turn touchdown push chain thingy very well. Very good. So, if I was him, I'd have used this guy. I mean, I would have probably had more guys here, but I would have that guy to push that guy that way, so that if I just got a push, he'd now be standing this guy, and then I could use him to attack. Because at this point, unless anyone's... Yeah, that's fine. Stunned. Unless someone's pushed next to this guy, he doesn't get to attack. He has to use the blitz up, and that's, potentially someone else could blitz. Yep, that's fine. So, he gets a free bash from me, and that's about it. If he wants, he can run over there and do a throw called a vanity pass, which is when you throw the ball. It's not really decisive, we're going to help the game, but if you pass the ball and succeed, you get an SPP point. As this guy, for instance, has got 5. Yeah, so he definitely wants to try and get 6, because that means he gets a level up. So if I was him, I would run over here and just throw the ball to that guy. And if you win, you pass, you succeed, then you get a point. If you don't, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to get there or do anything anyway. And I don't know, is he going to try and foul my lineman? No? Okay. I don't. All this movement doesn't really do anything, because the turn's over anyway. But there's been plenty of times when I've forgotten and I've maneuvered myself in I gotta make sure I'm prepared and we can help them out, and I'm like, oh wait, it's the end turn, or it's got to the last turn and I haven't walked it in. What it's called crendering it after a particular streamer. I haven't walked in on the last turn because I thought it was another turn was still to have, and then you're like, oh, it's the end of the half, and I gave away my perfect scoring opportunity. So this guy, he's actually a little too far away. That guy needs to be one space higher, or back here, to make it easier for his passer. He rolled a 6, so that works fine. But if you had been one space higher, you'd need a 3+ instead of a 4+, because it's like a 3-square bracket. So every 3 squares, first 3 squares it's the easiest, and the next 3 squares then it gets harder, and then harder again, and eventually gets to like Hail Mary. It's never going to be accurate, kind of throws one pitch side, pitch the other. And we're back up. They are still fucked. Okay, now I'm on the defense. So now I need to play smart. Why, Uncle Molt, are we doing it this way? Well, the reason why we're doing this way is because it's really hard to get through this and attack my runner, who's my most vulnerable piece, and also most of my blitzes are hard to get to. You can only get here. You can't get an assist. You'd have to have... I mean, you could if you could grab that guard piece and walked him in there. But that's also dangerous because next turn I can start pushing you off the edge of the pitch. So it protects my good pieces, makes it hard to get through because they have to bash through here and then try and slip through the central corridor, or they try and bash through here, and then if they go to one side, then I can start trying to push them off the field. I'll just click this and get things going. So it's a good general setup, especially different teams have different setups because some people just don't have enough players to like strong players to kind of, or linemen to kind of cover their area, like lizardmen, where they have to kind of have all their skinks kind of in this back section here and kind of their flanks covered by lizards. But I'm Bashy Elf, so I can spread out. Yep. And so this game is a game of dice. I can play perfectly, and I have played perfectly in previous games and just gotten destroyed. It's been it's called being diced, because sometimes everything you do fails and everything they do succeeds, and there's nothing you can do about it. But obviously you want to try and mitigate the factors. Yeah, that's fine. So I probably should have had maybe an injury by now. I've bashed a little bit, but I've been fairly good to limit the amount of hits. Especially, he's got a claw piece, doesn't he? Now this guy, if he's trying to be good, he wants to be using this guy, the Minotaur, because he's got a mighty blow, or that claw piece to be hitting my guys constantly. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, that's a little dangerous. He really needs to back him up and just stand someone there or something, because currently there is a risk that I could start pushing this guy towards the edge of the field. It's probably not a great risk because I'd have to commit a lot of resources to doing it, but it's possible. If this guy hadn't been pushed, I would absolutely try to do it, because I could stand some guys here, push him that way, and then and have someone else blitz him and push him here, and then have someone stand there, so when this guy pushed him, he just goes off the edge because there's no space for him to go to. But, you know, it's a bit difficult to do. This is super dangerous because he doesn't have a safety next to this guy. If he screws it up like that, the ball is now loose, and I can run dudes through here and put some pressure, and if he fails to pick up again, he's in dire straits. So, is there anything safe we can do? Not really. This is all... Like, to get through it up there, I have to start doing things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a dodge and go up there. Is there anything more aggressive that I can do? Come further across. Because he wants to go over here. So if I can get in the way, so he picks up, walks over here, even if I go 2 spaces over, he can probably make the pass anyway. So it's probably not worthwhile risking this movement. If he was like here, and I could just go 1 or 2 spaces and stand next to him, I'd absolutely risk it. But this, meh. One thing I might do at the very end of my turn is just lightning bolt that guy, and if he goes down, then no one's there to pick it up. I can just go pick it up and run it in. But we'll see if we can get there. It's a bit dangerous. Instead, we will set up an elf screen. And I put this guy in a relatively safe position. Beautiful. Glorious. Alright, I'm not going to follow up. I'm actually going to run over here. Now I've got a second threat in his back line that is just horrible for him. And I will... Because he doesn't have frenzy, I'm going to stand him there. So he can't run through here. This is still good. Alright, now we do the dodges. Alright, there's an argument to be made to just screw the lineman. Who gives a shit about them? Take that dude down. Don't risk losing your chance to wizard him. But, I can always use the wizard later. But this just gets more guys up and moving and in defensive positions. Alright, now we are going to use this wizard just for shits and giggles. Probably, maybe not the smartest play, but potentially hilarious. Beautiful. Okay, so it's not a kill. He's not removed. But now he has nobody next to the ball. And this guy literally has to go for it, run, to get over there and just get next to it. So the chances are that I can get that ball. Because even if he puts some dudes on me, I can probably get away. And he's not running over to it. So that ball is super possible going to be a chance for me to secure. If he just pushes me, that is wonderful. He really needs to reroll this, yes. Good choice. I can still potentially get up and just walk over next to it anyway. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. So this guy is not getting in the way. He doesn't change my positions. I can still run straight along here. He really needs to go for it, or at least stand on me. But, you know, dems the brakes. Yep, he just tried to move, which means he needs a 4+. He failed. I don't think wild ammo doesn't remove their... Yeah. So some big guys, they have these things called nega traits. There's a negative trait. This one just means he doesn't get to do anything. Some others mean they go like trolls, get really stupid. They lose their tackle zones, so I can just walk around him and I don't have to worry about dodging. But yeah, so that's one of the downfalls of these big strong dudes. In terms of just like teaching you guys how to play, I kind of just want to do by showing kind of thing, show by doing. Move first when you can. Do relatively safe things first. Do the dangerous things like the single die dodges last. Don't bash things that you can't bash. Like I don't think I've thrown more than a couple blocks against these guys. I've got block and the AV9 and they've got thick skull. The chance of me doing anything was pretty minimal. So why am I doing that? That's crazy. Okay, so the safest thing to do is go sand on it. I could walk one more, but if I fucked it up, no one's securing the ball. Now I can do this guy. Well, maybe it's more risky, but you know, if I don't secure the ball, I've still got a guy standing next to it. Whereas I fuck this up, we're done. You can go stand next to him most likely. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna still try and bash this guy potentially. Nah, it's a bit too dangerous. He could blitz me off. This guy is actually a potential threat to like get the ball and run it through because he's so quick. So we do want to try and get in the way. Okay, so this dodges are too dangerous. I want to secure the ball. This is a game about winning. I don't care about how many of my guys die. Perfect time to reroll. And sometimes it's worthwhile not committing to this and just doing one, seeing what happens, and they're doing something else. And some people might be like, I've already used my reroll. I'm not going to risk anything else. I'm just going to go stand here or here, and that's it. Ball's secure. I don't have to do anything crazy. But this moment, he has to double walk to get there. This guy can just walk there, but that's fine. All right, now let's go. Not sure if I want to do that anymore. I might just back my dudes off. Yeah, I can't. It's too far. You come back here. Okay, now let's do this. Do I want to push him a particular way? I want to push him away from the ball, which means I don't want to push this way. I want to push through here so I can push him back here. This is a bit risky. Here's a runner who is not great at bashing, and if it backfires, life is miserable. But I push him and I stay so he doesn't get a free block on me, and that's it. And after this, I'm going to dodge this guy this way and get in the way of this. It's risky, but I've done the dangerous thing at the end. And it screws up, and that's why we did everything else first. Okay, this is stupid. If you do that, you at least want to attack from here, because you stand next to this guy, you're going uphill. I've got strength 4 effectively, because it's 3 plus 1. You need to get strength 3. You have to roll 2 dice. It's called 2 dice uphill. And then I, the player you're attacking, get to choose. So if you roll skull, normally you'd be like, I'm not going to choose the skull, I'll choose the push. But no, I get to choose. So I'm going to choose the skull and make a dude drop to the ground. Super dangerous. If I was him, yeah, I guess you could do either or. One of those guys goes, stands next to my dude, removes the assist. And then you can either run this guy in a little risky to get an assist, or we can just do the 1 die attempt. Again, totally fine by me. Now this guy can't stand next to me. I can just dodge away or bash that way and then walk it in. And so if you play and you're like, oh god, they've got 200 more team value than me, make sure you check their team, because if they've got like 4 or 5 rerolls, that's wasted team value. Like, it's not going to be used. So they might not be as high up as you think, and you might actually have a winning chance. Don't just concede. And also, even if they are stronger than you, use your inducements wisely, like I have. A wizard, get me this ball. The knockouts have been helped. I got a 3+, which would have meant my guys stayed here, but I got a, because of the babe, I got him up. Use them smartly, and you can absolutely win against a superior, in quotation marks, team. I mean, if you get placing in someone that's insanely above you, you got no chance. But, yeah. You might dice them. They may just fail every roll anyway, so may as well try. Alright, this looks very much like a foul, because the more assists you get, the easier is the foul. But he's fouling a lineman. I don't give a shit about linemen. I mean, they're L's, so they're valuable, more than, say, like a human lineman. But still, he's there to get bashed. I could care less. But not by much. Okay. Totally fine. What do I want to do? Pretty much isn't a block. So I can stand a guy here. That removes that guy's assist. Stand a guy there, that removes that guy's assist. Now I've got an assist here for this guy. I can bash this guy, and I don't have to risk this guy doing the 1 die. I can do 2 die, and potentially knock him down, or just push him. You know, I'm no worse off if I push him, because he's still standing next to my dude. But, you know, it could do some real damage, potentially. Don't want to do anything with these guys. I want to set up a screen. Just in case somehow this screws up and they get the ball and throw it to this guy, or just Hail Mary it down the field. I want to prevent them from going any further. I'm just going to use lineman for it. That's about it. You can go stand there to be corner cover. Why don't we set up a frenzy trap in case he comes back? It's unlikely, but why not? It's not too hard to get around that if he puts some kind of assists and goes along this way, but, you know, he might screw it up. Alright, let's do this. Just a push. That's fine. We will push him that way, and we're going to follow up. Now, I can just dodge, but I've also got a blitz left, so I can bash this guy. I can do a 1 die. Same 2+ as dodging out, but if I dodge out and I screw it up, the ball might fall off the field and then get thrown in somewhere else, and it won't be down here. But if I screw this up and fall over, well, the ball just drops near us. I push him. Great. Perfect. He goes over there, I stay. I am now free to move, and I'm going to walk that ball in. I'm up 2-0. Basically, no chance this guy's going to win, and it's going to be super difficult, because these guys aren't that quick generally to get a draw. Still knocked out, got an unlucky roll, his guy's coming back regardless. Like, it'll happen. You'll have a 3+, he'll have 4+, and he will roll 4s and you'll roll 2s. It happens. Go back here. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to move this guy over here to protect this guy. Actually, yeah, that's fine, because I want to protect him because he's vulnerable. This guy can come over here because now he's got 3 star player points, is what 3 SPP is. I want him over here because that's more protected than this. This is more exposed. And that's about it. How many players he's got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I've got 10, so we're even on players now because he's got I permanently out and I've got a knockdown player. He's got 5 turns to get 3 goals. Not happening. 5 turns he can get 2 is really hard. He might get 1, maybe. And if I have anything to do with it, it'll be 3-0 by the end. As an aside, Chaos Stores actually can be quite competitive if you know what you're doing with them, because the Bull Centaurs are really quick, so you can actually run them through, you know, lock up the enemy guys with your blockers. Oh, fuck. I clicked at the wrong time, but luckily it was a huge, like, normally if I'd clicked here or something, that probably would have actually maybe scattered and be in a touchback, which is when they get to choose where the ball goes if it lands out of bounds. But that if it randomly went out that way, it would have been screwed. Well, I don't want to stand next to these guys. That's horrible. I can stand there. I can stand there. And I don't want to stand him or him, so he can go stand there. And the ball's over this side, so I definitely want to bring dudes over here. And you can go over here. I still kind of want to leave some guys out here, so if he pulls over far right to defend, I can run around. But I do want to prevent him from running through the middle. Bring him over one, just in case this guy goes down. And one in here. And that's about it. I could go stand up there, but if he bashes and follows up, he's standing next to my dude, and I might have to jump back. Otherwise, if he bashes him, he doesn't get to stand next to me. Now he has to move this guy if he wants to, and that means he can't do something else. That's about it. So this is good for him. If you're someone who's not good at handling the ball, you want the ball to drop near your line because it's easy to grab and get in. Otherwise, you have to run all the way back, try and pick it up a couple turns, and try and run it all the way back to the front. And that gives time for someone like me to run around and then start striking you. So one of the skills you can get is kick, which makes it more like maybe this is the area where it's going to scatter within, maybe a quarter of the field, or like a quarter of their half. Which case, if I'm playing against orcs and they're bad at handling the ball, I kick it deep in their lines, and I run up and go bash their dude. But if I'm playing against people that can handle the ball, like Skaven or Wood Elves, I kick it close, so that I can go try and get at it and quickly hit it. Because they're going to get it and control it anyway, so I may as well put it within striking distance on the first turn. Anyway, force their dude to run back if they want to make it safe. It means he's not doing something else. See, like we said, this guy... I mean, I would have probably stood potentially here. Like, if I was him, I'd be just constantly pressing my dudes. Because then you've seen how I always fall back. So if I'm falling back and running away, that means I'm not doing any damage. And I'm taking a risk that I might fall down. So why not just press me? You've seen the kind of psychology of the player playing the Dark Elves. Ooh. Nasty. That's why we put Lyman in the way, so that doesn't happen to this dude. So this guy's skill, by the way, is called Dump Off. If someone hits him and he's got the ball, before I get hit, I have the option to throw to someone nearby that's like, 3 spaces away. It's still risky. You might just get pushed, and you've given away risk throwing the ball for nothing. And obviously, someone standing next to it makes it harder to throw the ball. So if you can get another skill, Nerves of Steel, which negates that, it's great. And it's one of the first skills you give someone like this. But it means that even if someone gets to my ball carrier, I just throw it to someone else, and they just keep running it up the field. Alright, at this point, he needs to stand someone here, otherwise they're going to run around and bash. Yeah, so he needs to do that. What I'll probably do anyway is try and do a 1-dive hit, and if I can take him down, then I'll keep running around and stand someone. So we kind of want to just do elf screen at this point. So let's go, because this is the elf screen's one problem is if you have a frenzy piece they can punch through. Because he's advanced so much, if I wanted to screen, I have to do it back here. So I've already lost a lot of ground. You could maybe keep it going, but it is risky. So if I run him there. Because I don't know if these guys are going to be able to dodge away. So I kind of need to move these pieces first. And then try and fill in gaps, or maybe put more forward pressure with the people that stand up afterwards. So this is kind of a weak screen at this point, but, these things happen. I quite like this guy where he is. Pushes to perfectly fine. Stay. Alright, if I go... I can do that. Why not? Let's try it. Excellent. We now have a blitzer on the ball carrier. So he's probably going to get pushed off, but that means he's going to have to put guys trying to focus on that, and that's guys that aren't bashing my line and pushing forward. Now I want to get this guy out of here, because that is horrifying. Great. And then we want a frenzy trap. And we want to back this guy up by, just in case he somehow gets the ball to Hobgoblin, he runs down here. We want to try and do this. Great. And then finally with this guy, he can just basically stand here, I think. Maybe even just come in here. Then we can do a switch. Stand here. I want to make it so he can't run down here very easily, so that if he tries to switch the ball over, he can't run to here, he has to run to here or here. He has to waste his time blitzing here instead of blitzing that. So that's pretty good, I like that. The weakest point is here, but most of his strength and his ball is around here, so that's where I need to focus. If he switches, I can switch to. Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. You could probably get 4, 5... If you could get 2 more assists, you could get a 3 dice against me. Considering this guy doesn't have block, you probably want to go for that. But it does mean less guys to kind of provide a cage. So... 3, 4, 5... Doesn't change anything for this guy. Doesn't change anything for this guy. He needs 1 more assist. Okay, so that guy was basically... It's a safety. It's like good to have someone there just in case this screws up. I can't do an easy 1 die. It's a 2 die uphill. But it does mean the Hobgoblin is not, you know, protected. He's exposed. And he certainly wasn't making the dice rolls any better. Yep, he's pressing on me. This is great. It means I have to dodge, and there's a chance I'll fail, and there'll be a gap, and he can exploit it. Great. That means he's going here. I can just screen here, move back, screen here, move back, screen here, and just wind down the clock. Now he's in actually... This is a good position. He's finally got the cage built. I've made life miserable for him. But, you know, them's the breaks. And he finally did it, so good on him. Because he's actually stood next to me, I am slightly inclined to bash and try and break into this cage. The only problem is this is a guard piece, and so if I don't knock him down, he will be able to assist whoever's here if I try and run in and hit him. But I may try to hit him anyway, because if I can bounce this ball and bounce it on him and it bounces off over to there, then I can just scoop it up. So, first things first. Okay, this is my bash piece, so I'm used to hit him if I end up hitting anyone. In the meantime, let's set up a screen. That's actually a problem. Is it alright? No, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to use this part of the screen. It's a bit dangerous, but I've only got so many people available. I want to leave these guys to potentially get up and grab the ball. And this guy as well can dodge out and grab a ball that falls out here. Not great. Okay, so that didn't work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably... I could hit him. What I want to do is try and get this guy away from my blitzer if I can. So where we go? We go screen here. I could just go bash the Hobgoblin. That's probably a smarter move. But I got a 2 die here. So I'm going to do that. And if I knock him down, I can go stand next to him. That's great. Great. Let's do that. Let's go... doesn't really matter because I can't remove the assist. Might prefer the turns, I might be able to push him further out. So let's do this. So now I've got a guy standing next to... Ooh, ouch. A guy standing next to the ball carrier. Life is miserable for him now. I'm almost tempted to leave someone, like, man these guys up, so it's hard for them to push me off. But... it's not, like... If I'm caring about my team, leaving guys next to the enemy is dangerous. You don't do it lightheartedly unless you're trying to... You can really pressure the ball. So I'm just going to play it safe. Could I go stand over there? Yeah, it's risky. I'm going to stand next to the hobgoblin, so he feels pressured. So yeah, you'll find you'll get caught up with things, and you'll start, oh, I'm really worried about this thing, I need to go bash, and you're like, wait, take a second. If that screws up, where are you sitting? Maybe you want to move this guy first, maybe you want to move these guys up first, because this guy isn't really manned, so maybe you want to put a guy there, just so I can't, be able to throw through to him quickly and have him run up. This is a chain push area, because you've got 3 people in the way where we normally push. You can choose which one, and then push them further, which can be good to, like, if you've got a friend here, and then you want to push him further away to get him free of this, you bash one of the guys, push him to one of these 3 spaces, choose that one, he's knocked, the guy that you hit gets knocked down there, and then you push your friend out here, he's free of the enemy, and you can just keep running, and then you have to do any dodges. So this is less than stellar for him, because I can bash him down and then run in there, so if he's smart, he probably puts in the guy there, puts the guy there. And while he's doing this, he's not moving the ball up, and he has to get down here in, 2 more turns. And I might be tempted to run a dude down here, and if I manage to break the ball free and he screws up, I can just throw it to him and get an easy touchdown. Pretty dangerous to attack a block piece with someone who doesn't have block, but you have at least got 2 dice, so it's a slightly better chance. He's got rerolls. But if you got like a both down result, you're in trouble. And if you get a skull on a both down, same thing, you're in trouble, so you have to reroll it. So it's a little bit risky. Don't do that, yep. That seems fine. I'm not sure I like it though, because I can now run a dude in and bash this, and I can go stand next to the guy very easy and just walk away here, which is probably exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a guy here as a save, a chance to score. Run a dude here so that I've got an assist, and I can kind of run around and go stand next to the bull carrier potentially. I'm going to push him this way, I think, just so that works. That's great. Now I want to go stand next to that dude there. At this point, you might be tempted to actually stand on all of them. And why not? We'll do it for the shits and giggles. I'll stand there. I'll stand that guy there. This gives me a 2 die against him. Nothing happens. And I can do a 1 die. Or I can just do a dodge and stand. And I think a dodge, like if I get another both down and nothing happens, like both down, nothing happens. If I do this, however, he is manned, and he has to kind of make some attempts to get rid of me. Yep, so that's it. Now he's in a very precarious situation. He has to start making dice rolls. You don't want to do that. You're stuck. That's why I did that. So he had to dodge if he wanted to do that. He's in dire straits. Anyone he tries to pass to is manned. It's really quite uncomfortable for him right now. And I want him to do something stupid and risky, like that. So then I can just... He screws up, I hit the ball, it bounces out somewhere. Yeah, this is the right thing to do. You want to clear this guy off. But I wanted him to do that because I want to set it up a situation where he has to do that because he has to start rolling dice, which is dangerous. And now this guy can come over and bash him, and it's a perfectly legitimate bash. He can run out here, but if he does run out here, chances are he's not going to be able to do more than just block, and so he's going to be exposed. My dude's just dodge away, bash, bash, pick up the ball, throw it along to this guy, and he runs it down the field. Yeah, it's a bit dangerous. What's he doing? He has to make a choice, and so he's going for the risk. Potentially, maybe. Oh yeah, I would do this first. Much better. Now he's got a safe way to push. If I don't get knocked out, ooh, I did. Unfortunate. If I didn't get knocked out, I could probably very easily get up and just go punch him. At this point, it's probably going to be this guy that dodges out and punches, because I don't have any blitz pieces available, because both of them were either knocked down or knocked out. But now he's having to do risky thing and expose his ball carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay, so I can definitely get to him. That's, yeah. So as soon as I start standing on him, life gets miserable. I start getting knockouts, I start getting stunned. That's why I've avoided that. Ooh, sounds painful. But yeah, not a big deal. Because we will win, even if he scores. Ooh, interesting. Doesn't really change things from my perspective. I can still get to him. So, if I play safe, I dodge this guy out, I stand over here, I get the 2 dice, I just rummage it into the corner. But, if I want to go dangerous, I try the 1 die, and then I try and pick up with this guy and throw it up. So, this guy can stay there for now. These guys are not going to... Okay, let's do this. That's fine. We got the reroll, that's why we saved it. So hopefully we don't roll another one. Alright, great. Now we do the same thing with this guy. And we get unlucky. So, it happens. So you got my rolls for the turn were fail, 3, 6, and then fail. And if you roll 2 1s in a turn, you roll 2 1s in a turn. So it's still risky, but he should be well able to clear this. He's got to re-roll 2 rerolls, which is more. He's only got 1 turn left, so he only really needs 1 reroll at this point. But he's got plenty of dudes he can bring over for assists, more than enough that he should be able to push this guy out. Yep, so she get a 3 dice, 4, 5, 6, 7 to my 3, which is more than double. That's, yep, he gets togged down, and then you can walk it in for a 2-1 win for me. This is the point where I think, oh, maybe I can do a 1-turn touchdown, but then I'd have to go look up the player, like a play sheet to do that properly, since I just don't know how to do it. And probably pretty difficult, so I'm not too concerned. Because I got the win. Yep. So you can set up how he wants. At this point, if you're in a league, a closed league with only a few teams instead of this eternal league, you might be like, okay, do I want to keep bashing this dude I beat? Because if I weaken his team, the next person he plays will have an easier time, and maybe it's better to leave him stronger rather than weaker, and he can make my other opponents suffer. But by the same token, if it's against you've just played against the best team in the league and they're doing really well, you just want to keep hitting them, even on this last turn, when there's no other turns for them to do anything, even though you might not win you the game or change anything. Injuring their guys might be useful in the long term. In this Eternal League, that is like thousands of players, you probably never get to see this guy again. It doesn't really matter. You only want to bash them to get points for your team, and beyond that doesn't really matter. So, where has he got? So I'll probably just do a quick bash, and that's about it. Due to the strength of his guys and the guard, I can't really ping-pong him as easily as I would like to. I'll do a vanity pass with this runner guy at the back. Probably use this guy to run around. Doesn't really change anything. Whatever. They can just stand here. I've locked up those guys, so these guys, if they get a blitz result, which gives them a free turn, they can't do anything because they're all currently stuck best he can hope for is like a perfect defense, and he can shift his line. Pouring rain. Great. So it's going to make it hard to do that vanity pass I was talking about. But we can absolutely bash. And there we go. You can go over there. Knocked out. Doesn't really change anything. It's only injuries, which give me 2 points per injury I inflict, that change anything in terms of my performance. So I can go stand over here. Again, good result. What we're looking for. Probably should have maybe moved him over there, but not the end of the world. So this guy is getting countered by that, so bring him over here. Maybe even worthwhile to blitz here. So he's got a block, and I want to use block whenever possible. Great. Push him over there, follow up. Chances of doing injuries is pretty low because he's Chaos Dwarf and he's really tough. I can just keep rolling down this line as long as it keeps letting me roll really well. Now we're running out of block pieces, so I don't have the skill block. So now it's really dangerous to do it. At this point, I'll do the vanity pass. So it's going to be hard to pick up. I'm now picking up like a human does normally. I need a 3+ instead of a 2+. And then again, it's harder because the rain. Hey! So now my guy gets 1 SPP. He's now went to 3 for scoring once, and now he's got 1 for throw. So this guy can do whatever he wants. But we're just going to keep bashing because we can. And this is amazing. Like, if I was going to roll this well all game, I would absolutely bash. But you can only do so many bashes before things go wrong. We just stand there. If I can push this guy over there, then I can get a 1 die against the Minotaur, because why not? Yep. There we go. Alright, my bare new lineman with 3 strength and 8 armor, Hithioth, is going to do 1 die against the Minotaur and hope he doesn't fail miserably, which he does. And he's fine. But that's the end of the match. So we took a fresh Dark Elf team into the Eternal League against someone who was like 240 points above us, so, you know, like a quarter above again of what we started with. That's fine. So this is the winnings. You roll a d6, you get 40k plus any fame. We had 0 fame because we're a new team and no one knows about us. We're just like new kids on the block turning up, and it was like, who the fuck is these guys? There's no sponsorship money from it, or people are not coming out in force and buying lots of tickets that are going to come in through to your team. However, we get a +10 because we won, so it's 4 plus 10 equals 50k. We get a 50k. That means I can get an apothecary. You can re-roll this if you win. Obviously, when a d6, anything above a 3.5, basically a 3, is a good result. You probably don't want to re-roll it unless you're like, oh, I really need just 10 more k. I'm willing to risk it. If I don't get it, that's fine. But if I do get it, I can get this really cool thing that I need. But otherwise, if you get a 1 to a 3, you re-roll it. Otherwise, you leave it alone. So we'll leave that. We got Prius Fan Factor 0 plus 1 because we won. It does a little internal logic thing where it checks against how much fan factor you already have already. And so as you get higher, it's harder to get more. But initially, it's really easy to get some. And there's also the MVP, which is basically completely random. It just randomizes it. You can get someone who can die in the match and get MVP and take away the free 5 points. This is fine. Would have been ideal on someone who already had some points because they could have leveled up. But this is fine a long time. I can just do a vanity pass with this guy and he'll level up. You can see touchdowns 2, passes 1, touchdowns 1, passes 1. 16 armor breaks, which I believe is the amount he broke me. So he did twice as much attacking that I did, basically, which is fine. He's a bashy team. Better ball possession, better occupation of the enemy half and my own half. Yeah, he got 37 blocks. I only got 24. I did 2 KOs. He did 6. I did 70 yards of running. He only did 46. Basically the same. I sustained way more blocks. Yeah, he got 1 casualty, which I think was a bash. Might have been the wizard, or him falling over like a dumbass. And then you can see how many points to get. Well, I got a MVP, a score, and a vanity pass, and you got an a score and a presumably a vanity pass, and then an MVP. See the dice. I can't remember. I think the way the armor dice rolls, like the dice the enemy rolled or something. I can't remember how this exactly works, but you can see how well you rolled. Obviously, ones are bad, and 2s for an elf team isn't bad potentially. If you're just doing dodges all the time, you want to have a look. What's your dodge percentage? Great, 82%. That's almost smack on the predicted amount for a 2+. Although I did some non-2+s in there. And yeah, there's a small sample size, so that's it's hard to tell. Yeah. That's playing Blood Bowl. That's kind of an intro. It's not depth, like really looking at the stats. You can see now that we've got an extra 10 points because we got a fan factor. I'm going to buy an apothecary right now. I'm probably never going to use the team again. Maybe I'll keep it and just use it as a teaching tool. If people want to request things, I'll do it, or maybe you can play another team. But this is really just to test OBS and see that it works. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see what happens.